Hi, welcome back. So, we are getting deep into this book, and I don't know about you, but I've heard you're enjoying it. I'm enjoying it too. So, chapter 6 is called The 4th of July. Do you guys know what July is like in Virginia? It's hot, it's humid, there's thunderstorms, and it can be very, very sticky. So, I wonder what these boys are going to be doing during the month of July and how they're going to be celebrating the 4th of July. Let's find out. July hit Virginia that summer like a furnace. The temperature rose higher and higher, eclipsing 100 degrees. The ancient air conditioning system in the boys' house groaned from constant use, and the grass around the yard was slowly turning a crispy brown. It was too hot to play outside, so Sam and Derek spent hours in their room planning their search for the missing treasure. Derek doubted that anyone else knew about the coins. It seemed unlikely that there would be another map like the one he'd found in the box. But those other kids by the boulder could stumble upon it by accident any day, and then it would be gone. He was determined to get there first, but hadn't been able to find a good time to sneak out. Have you ever been stuck in the house because it's so hot outside? Yeah, it's not fun. The next day was the 4th of July. And despite their pleas and begging, they had much more important things to do. The boys dragged themselves into the family minivan. Their mom assured them there would be lots of fun things for them to do when they reached the park for a holiday cookout and fireworks with their aunt and uncle and cousins. But, Mom, we really don't have time for this today, Derek argued from the back. Yeah, we have a lot to do, added Sam. Very important things. What could you do that's more important than our nation's birthday? She asked. How would you like it if we skipped your birthday? Did you know that a lot of important historical events happened right here in our state of Virginia? It's very true. I'm sure you'll learn about many of them in school this year. You guys will have Virginia studies in fourth grade, so you'll get to learn a lot. Is this where Lady Liberty lived? Giggled Derek. No, but there was a famous speech about liberty delivered by someone named Patrick Henry right here in Richmond, answered their mom. Did he say liberty and justice for all? Asked Sam. No, that was Superman, said Derek. Mom laughed. No, wise guys. Patrick Henry said, give me liberty or give me death. Whoa, that's serious, said Derek. He must have really loved her. Sam gave Derek a strange look. What? You know, Lady Liberty. That Henry Ford guy must have really loved her if he would rather die than live without her. Oh, brother, moaned Sam. Patrick Henry, corrected their mom. And liberty isn't a she, it's a thing. It means freedom, which is why we think about it on the 4th of July when America declared its independence or freedom from England. Patrick Henry argued that Virginia should join the revolution, and they did. Was it a New Year's revolution? Asked Derek. Those are really hard to keep. Sam looked at his brother again. Seriously? Here we are, announced their dad as they turned into the state park and pulled up next to their uncle's big pickup truck. Everyone piled out and brought all their food and supplies over to the picnic tables under a pavilion for a tasty meal of burgers, hot dogs, and corn on the cob. A little while after the meal, everyone swam out to the middle of the nearby pond and enjoyed the cool water. Sam and Derek's aunt and uncle had a pair of retrievers, that's a dog, that came along to cool off from the heat. The two dogs ran and jumped in the water like they were born to swim. The boys threw a tennis ball to each other in the shallow areas, and the dogs jumped back and forth trying to grab every throw out of the air. An old wooden platform floated off the far shore of the pond. The kids jumped in the water, judging each other's best cannonball splash. Sounds fun. Uncle Drew said that section of the pond was nearly 20 feet deep. When no one was looking, Derek gathered up his courage and did his very best dive into the water. He was scared at first, but as he sank deeper, he loved how the water grew ice cold, like he'd escaped to unknown glacial waters. Derek stayed down as long as he could in the cold water. When it felt as if his lungs would burst, he kicked and pulled up with all of his strength to the surface. When his head broke through, he sucked in the warm air and smiled at the fun. After everyone had their fill of swimming, the families all dried off and walked over to the other side of the park where the locals gathered for fireworks celebrations. Camp chairs were unfolded and set up in a row, and a wide blanket was spread in the grass for the younger cousins. They watched the last pieces of sunlight slip into the western horizon as the sky gradually faded into darkness. Are we going to be screamers? Sam asked. Or are, I said that wrong. Are there going to be screamers? Sam asked. Well, your little cousins might get scared at the loud noise, but I don't know if they'll scream. Sam shook his head. No, not screaming, Mom. Screamers. You know the fireworks that make like a squealing sound? We call those screamers, Mom, said Derek. There are also bangers, poppers, boomers, crackers, sizzlers, plus a few more that I forgot. You'll see. I love 4th of July. Their mom laughed. Believe it or not, boys, I've been to plenty of fireworks, more than you, in fact. Before the boys could answer, everyone was startled by an enormous boom that shook the ground. That was a boomer, Mom, shouted Sam. I felt that one inside my chest. I see what you're talking about, she laughed, and for what seemed like hours, they all stared wide-eyed as the heavens exploded in color and sound. On the ride back home, the boys rested their heads in the darkness as their van slowly crept along in the lines of traffic. It seemed as if the entire town was filing out along the same small country road back to their homes. Derek squinted his eyes till they were nearly shut, which made the taillights of the other cars look blurry like fire bursts. I was talking with your Uncle Drew at dinner, their dad called from the front seat. He said we could borrow his big tent if we wanted to try camping out in the woods behind the house next week once the heat breaks. Awesome! Sam was suddenly alert to the news. That would be so cool. I love camping. How do you know if you love camping? Sneered Derek. How many times have you done it? Just that one time when you were 2? You practically slept through the whole thing. Yes, but I loved it, answered Sam. Can we go tomorrow, Dad? No, it's too hot this week. But the weekend should be cooler, their dad replied. Mr. Haskins told me about an empty field on the other side of the creek. He said that he's used it as a campsite before and no one's minded. Honey, isn't that where started Mom, and then she whispered something that the boys couldn't hear. What? Said Sam. Isn't that where what? Well, Mr. Haskins also said that a few years ago he saw a couple bear cubs running down the hill when he and the landowner were clearing a trail, their dad answered. But that was a while ago. Bears? Said Sam. Forget it. I don't like bears. No way. I thought it was snakes you were afraid of, teased Derek. Bears too. Snakes and bears. They're both bad. Very bad. You're afraid of everything, Sam. Be quiet, Derek. You're afraid of the wind and storms. All right, called their dad. Don't worry. They won't bother us if we keep our food put away and make plenty of noise. He glanced back at them in the mirror and chuckled. I've never seen you two may had a problem making noise. Derek nudged Sam across the seat and leaned over to whisper in his ear. That's over toward the boulder. Maybe we can sneak over there during the camping trip. No way, Sam shook his head. I changed my mind. I'm not getting trapped in a mine. I don't want to be like Mr. Haskins' brother and fall in a hole. I might get trapped and eaten by a bear. Derek crossed his arms and leaned against the window. We'll see. Soon they had both drifted off to sleep with visions of campfires exploding in the sky and brightly colored bears falling into holes. Well, that's the end of our chapter. That one wasn't as long as some of the other ones. All right, we'll have to see. I wonder if they're going to go camping and find out some more about their mystery treasure. We'll find out soon. Bye.